The Dragon and the Blood Tree from Socotra, Yemen. On the island of Socotra, bathing in the Indian Ocean, you will find spread amidst crimson red beaches and crystal white sand dunes some odd-looking trees. Some of them have been there for more than 20 million years. Their surreal shapes give a look to the island cut along a cerulean, cloudless sky for most of the year. These trees thrive in an arid environment under extreme conditions, and at least 1/3 of them can be found here and nowhere else on the planet. They are extremely rare succulents, referred to as the Socotra fig, an elephant's leg-looking miniature baobab tree. Legend has it that the Creator made a beautiful world out of nothing in the middle of a big, deep blue ocean and made fascinating forms of life to exist in it. It is a faraway, desolate land, which has never been a most secret island. It was a strange and powerful creature with an elegant body. Its top was covered in its scales-like skin with rows of small fan-like growths that ran down its spine. Combined with restless azure eyes, delicately placed within a long thorny skull, it had a very ominous appearance. Its nose was short and had 2 small oval nostrils, and there was a crystal growth on its chin. Several sharp teeth poked out from the side of its mouth and revealed only a fraction of what lay inside. A huge long neck ran down from its head into a colossal body. The top covered its warped scales of rows of armor plating runs down its spine. Its bottom is covered in scale-like skin and is colored much darker than the rest of its body. 4 slender limbs carried its body and allowed the creature to stand sturdy and noble. Each limb had 6 digits, each of which ended in narrow nails seemingly made of bone. Humongous wings grew, starting from just above its shoulders and ending at the middle of its back. The wings were bat-like. The insides of the wings seemed to be made of thin crystals, and curved talons grew from each ending like giant scythes. Its tail ended like a marvelous maze-like growth and covered in the same warped scales as its body. It could spew wind with devastating effects if ever it was angry. The Creator called it the dragon. He said that there would be 4 types. One in the east, one in the west, one in the south, and one in the north. Each will have different colors and live in the 4 elements, namely water, air, land, and fire. This particular autumn, people knew when the dragons woke by the calling of in the hills. He said that there would be 4 types, one in the east, one in the west, one in the south, and one in the north. Each will have different colors and live in 4 elements, namely water, air, land, and fire. This particular one would live on land. All those the Creator made for the east, north, and west grew into fantastic creatures which men feared. They adapted to their environment and ruled over the land they belonged to. In the wintry weather, they hibernated, having fed on the elk in the autumn. People knew when the dragons woke by calling in the hills, those deep voices, beautiful in their rawness, echoing from the rocks. No matter how often they saw them fly, acing with outstretched wings, each as brilliant as stained glass, they held their breath for a moment, eyes wide open, always in fear and awe. They were kites without strings, celebrations of freedom with each rhythmic beat. But in contrast to its frightening exterior, this creature on Socotra wasn't dangerous at all. It was calm and graceful by nature, or so it seemed, as no one knew its true behavior. It would do nothing but lay on the rocks on top of its new world, taking in the warmth, through its scale from the extremely long summer sun and dozed serenely from long hours, day after day. It was now how the dragon felt happy, resting just so, gazing far out at the horizon. The Creator made this peaceful but powerful creature the king of everything that lived in his world, its designated protector while he was gone. Seeing such a gentle creature, lizards climbed upon its back, their kids played somersault, snakes crawled by its tail and kept cool under. Birds flew upon the crest of its head and laid their nests, but the dragon remained unfazed. He purred like a cat and allowed all his new friends to do what they wanted. Under the blaze of the fierce sun, everyone lived happily. The Creator returned after many years of absence to check upon his creations. He couldn't see the magnificent world he left behind, but a world of ravaged and burned to the ground. He found no one of the other beautiful creatures he had created not so long ago. Only the dragon was still perched on top of the highest mountain, resting as per usual, and nothing but a dead marshland around. God was furious. The dragon must have eaten them all and destroyed his paradise.
I gave you a paradise to live in, and this is all you have done to it? How dare you destroy what I created? You deserve to be punished,
roared the Creator. Clouds amassed in the sky, turning it black, thunder and lightning whipping in flashes. Dragon was surprised. He hissed, trying to reply back, that the sun has been very severe. Heat has been drying out everything as the Creator had forgotten to send rain. No trees could grow in the barren land, but alas, Dragon could barely open his mouth when he was transformed into a tree.
You will suffer in this tree and never die, and you shall live in this barren land that you made yourself.
Dragon could not utter his plea for innocence, and he stayed there and suffered. Visiting birds came later and shed tears not finding Dragon. Their tears turned into grass. Chameleons came from nearby lands and saw no dragons. They shed tears too, which turned into pebbles. His friend the woodpecker kept him company for long hours and vowed he will always be close to its trunk. Dragon was touched and cried. One drop of his tears fell on the bird's crest and it turned to blood red. Then Dragon came too one day. The tree got green leaves. Then rain came one day. The tree got green leaves at its top. Dragon inside was pleased that life was returning to the land, but the Creator did not visit again. Words of the bleeding tree reached far shores, and healers, shamans, druids came to collect the blood. It had astonishing healing powers and could stop any wounds in minutes. The kindness of the dragon lived on and cured many who sought its blood. Wherever a drop of his blood touched the ground, another tree grew. Dragon's pain, as inflicted by the Creator, never stopped. All the creatures wait for the day when he will return and realize his mistake. But in the meanwhile, they visit Dragon Tree and keep him company, showing him their new children and recounting stories of lands they visit. Dragon listens quietly and patiently, suffering from his wounds whenever someone came to gather some drops of his blood. All the plants growing on the island bleed when cut, as they originally sprung from Dragon's blood. When it rains, red flowers cover the ground and give honey-sweet nectar. The island became happy with plants and creatures again. It is believed that the Creator could face his bitter mistake in shame, and that's why he doesn't come back.